All right, are you ready for a deep dive? One that'll send chills down your spine.
Oh, I'm ready. Always up for a good mystery.
Okay, good. Today, we're taking on the disappearance of the USS Scorpion.
The Scorpion?
Yeah, a nuclear submarine. Back in 1968. It's a story with Cold War tension, missing clues, and theories that will make you question everything. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel.
I'm intrigued already. What makes this case so captivating? I mean, is it the lack of a clear-cut answer?
It really is. It's like a puzzle, but with, crucial pieces missing. The USS Scorpion, this state-of-the-art nuclear attack submarine, vanished while on its way back from a classified mission.
Classified, you say?
Yeah, in the Atlantic.
Oh.
And it took 99 crew members with it.
Wow.
Even though the wreckage was eventually found, the cause of its demise is still a mystery.
A real head-scratcher, then.
Totally. So what really happened to the USS Scorpion? We're going to examine declassified reports, analyze the wreckage, and dive deep into the most prevalent theories. Was it an attack by the Soviets? An internal malfunction? We'll explore it all.
It sounds like we have our work cut out for us. The evidence is often open to interpretation, right?
Oh, definitely. And that's what makes this deep dive so intriguing. We're not just rehashing the facts,
Right.
but encouraging you to think critically about the evidence and draw your own conclusions.
I like that. Getting the listeners involved.
Yeah. To really understand the magnitude of this mystery, we need to go back to the Scorpion's final days. It embarked on what seemed like a routine deployment to the Mediterranean,
Okay.
February 1968.
Right.
And its objective was to keep tabs on Soviet naval activity during the peak of the Cold War.
That's a tense time. Think about the geopolitical landscape. The U.S. and the Soviet Union were locked in a nuclear arms race, submarines playing a crucial role in intelligence gathering and maintaining that strategic balance of power.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Each side was constantly trying to outmaneuver the other. The stakes were incredibly high.
It was a high-pressure environment. Any misstep could have had serious consequences. And then things take a turn for the bizarre. On May 21st, the Scorpion sent its last radio message, reporting its imminent return to Norfolk, Virginia. Expected arrival was May 27th, but then on May 22nd, poof, it just vanished near the Azores.
Vanished, just like that.
Yeah, it's the complete silence that's so striking.
You know, in the world of submarine warfare, distress signals are standard protocol in emergencies. The absence of one in the Scorpion's case, that just intensifies the mystery. I mean, what could have happened so suddenly that prevented the crew from sending out an SOS?
It's almost as if they vanished into thin air.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 5 long months later, October 1968, that the wreckage was finally located.
Really?
400 miles southwest of the Azores.
Wow.
A staggering 10,000 feet below the surface.
That's deep.
Yeah, the use of deep-sea submersible is a monumental discovery, but it also raised more questions than it answered.
How so?
Well, the condition of the wreckage added another layer of complexity to the investigation. While being crushed and fragmented at that depth is to be expected, the damage patterns were far from typical.
What do you mean?
So the front section of the submarine was crushed inward, while the rear remained relatively intact. This isn't consistent with the standard implosion scenario where the crushing would be more uniform.
You're right, that localized nature of the damage, that suggests a powerful force acting on a specific part of the sub, leading investigators to consider possibilities like an explosion or a collision. It really throws a wrench into any simple explanations.
Yeah, it really does throw a wrench in things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just seems like something more than just a simple implosion must have happened. So what are some of the theories that have been put forward to explain this kind of damage?
Well, it's a question that has fueled countless debates and analyses over the years. One of the most prominent theories is that the Scorpion was actually targeted and sunk by a Soviet submarine.
Whoa, okay, that sounds like something straight out of a spy thriller. But considering the whole Cold War context we were just talking about, it's not entirely outlandish to think that the Soviets might have had a motive, right?
Exactly. I mean, the U.S. and the Soviet Union were constantly vying for naval superiority, and submarines were their stealthiest weapons. It's plausible that the Scorpion, while on its mission, could have stumbled upon something, something the Soviets didn't want them to see, provoking a retaliatory strike.
That raises a question for me, though. If there was evidence of Soviet involvement, wouldn't the U.S. government have used it to their advantage during the Cold War? Seems like a missed opportunity for propaganda.
You're right. That's a valid point. And the U.S. government has consistently denied any Soviet involvement in the Scorpion sinking, but that hasn't stopped speculation. Some people believe that admitting to a Soviet attack could have escalated the Cold War beyond control.
So it's possible that the truth was kept under wraps to prevent further tensions, huh? Makes you wonder what other secrets might still be buried within those classified reports. But if we move away from the Soviet attack theory for a moment, what other explanations have been put forward?
Well, another prominent theory focuses on the possibility of an internal malfunction, specifically a torpedo accident.
Right. I remember you mentioning earlier that the Scorpion had reported some technical issues before its final mission. So could one of those issues have led to a catastrophic failure?
It's certainly possible. The theory suggests that a faulty torpedo might have detonated prematurely, like inside the sub, and that would explain the concentrated damage to the front section.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, a torpedo explosion inside the confined space of a submarine, that would be devastating. But if the Scorpion was experiencing technical difficulties, why was it even cleared to go on a mission in the first place?
That's one of the key questions surrounding this theory, for sure. Was there, like, a lapse in judgment? Were the risks underestimated? It's difficult to say for sure, but it definitely highlights the inherent dangers of operating these complex machines. Even with rigorous safety protocols, accidents can happen, especially during the Cold War when technology was rapidly advancing.
Yeah, it's a stark reminder of the human cost of these operations. But the torpedo accident theory, that isn't the only one that points the finger inwards, right? There's also the U.S. Navy cover-up theory, which I have to admit, it sounds a little bit like something out of a conspiracy thriller.
It does have a certain intrigue to it, doesn't it? The cover-up theory alleges that the true cause of the Scorpion's sinking was, well, deliberately concealed by the U.S. Navy.
Wait, so are they suggesting that the Navy intentionally sent the Scorpion and its crew on a doomed mission? I mean, that's a serious accusation. What evidence is there to support such a claim?
Well, proponents of this theory point to declassified reports that indicate the Navy was aware of potential mechanical problems with the Scorpion, like prior to its departure. And they argue that these concerns were, downplayed or ignored, leading to a preventable tragedy.
That's a chilling thought. If it's true, it means that 99 lives were lost, not just because of an accident, but because of negligence or even a deliberate decision to prioritize, something else over the safety of the crew. But why would the Navy cover something like that up? Seems like it would backfire eventually.
Well, the argument is that acknowledging fault, especially during the Cold War, could have had severe consequences. I mean, admitting to a major flaw in their submarine program could have damaged national security and weakened their position against the Soviets, right? So a cover-up, however risky, might have seemed like the lesser of two evils at the time.
So it's a question of balancing national security concerns against transparency and accountability, huh? It really puts into perspective the immense pressure that decision-makers must have been under during that era.
It also highlights the ethical dilemmas inherent in such situations. How do you weigh the potential risks to national security against the moral imperative to protect the lives of your own sailors? It's a question with no easy answers.
No, it's not. It's certainly a sobering thought, and it adds another layer of tragedy to the story of the USS Scorpion. But at the end of the day, regardless of which theories you subscribe to, the fact remains that 99 crew members never made it home.
Absolutely. The human cost of this tragedy can't be overstated. These were individuals with families, loved ones, dreams, and aspirations. Their lives were cut short, and their families were left with a void that can never truly be filled.
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. Just thinking about the families left behind, still wondering what happened to their loved ones. It's been over 50 years since the USS Scorpion sank, and we still don't have a definitive answer. For the families, the lack of closure, it's got to be tough.
Oh, absolutely. The not knowing, that can be the hardest part. And you're right, despite numerous investigations, tons of analyses, the Scorpion's sinking remains one of the most enduring naval mysteries of the Cold War.
It really does. We've gone over a range of theories, from a Soviet attack to a torpedo malfunction, even a possible U.S. Navy cover-up. It's a lot to take in. I'm still grappling with it all, to be honest.
And that's the beauty of a deep dive like this. It's not about, presenting a neat and tidy solution. It's more about exploring the complexities, the uncertainties, the different perspectives surrounding a historical event. It's about engaging in critical thinking, recognizing that sometimes the most important questions, they don't have easy answers.
Right. And what stands out to me is just how much we still don't know. The U.S. Scorpion, it serves as a reminder that history is full of gaps, unanswered questions. Even with, all our advanced technology, we can't always solve every mystery or bring closure to every tragedy.
I agree. It also highlights the importance of, continuous inquiry. We should never stop asking questions, challenging assumptions, seeking new evidence. Even decades later, new technologies or declassified information, who knows, maybe it'll emerge, shedding new light on old mysteries.
It makes you wonder what's out there, still waiting to be uncovered. And it's not just about finding answers for the sake of historical accuracy, is it? It's also about honoring the memory of those who were lost.
You got it. By continuing to investigate these events, discuss them, we keep the memory of the Scorpion's crew alive. We acknowledge their service, their sacrifice. We ensure that their story continues to be told.
That's important. For me, the USS Scorpion is a symbol of the enduring power of mystery. A reminder that even in our age of information, there are still things we don't understand. Secrets hidden beneath the waves.
It's those unanswered questions that keep us curious, that drive us to seek knowledge, to understand. The Scorpion's story, it might not have a neat ending, but it continues to resonate with us, prompting us to reflect on history, technology, and the human cost of conflict.
It's a story that'll stay with me for a long time. I encourage everyone listening to do their own research, delve into the different theories, form their own conclusions. What did you think happened to the USS Scorpion? Let us know in the comments below. This deep dive might be over, but the conversation continues. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel.